should have seen us coming. Passing the folks along the road just as they were standing. All the lads and lasses there, all the smiling faces, gathered along the Scotswood Road to see the bleeding races. We went to bleeding races.
Oh, it's back through Bartes!
1962 on a summer's afternoon, we took the bus from Bambras and she was heavy laden. Where we went along Collinwood Street, that's on the road to Bladen. Oh, me lads, you should have seen us gunning, passing the folks along the road just as they were standing. All the lads and lasses there, all with smiling faces, gunning along the Scotswood Road to see the Bladen races.
Good evening, people. Back again tonight. John Sinclair TV back again. And tonight I've got Tony. I've got two Manchester City fans, Patrick from Washington and Carl. Good evening to you guys. Welcome to the show.
Good evening. Good evening, John. Good evening, Tony.
Thanks for having us, Tony and John. Thanks for having us, and thanks for the invite. We appreciate this.
Absolutely.
No problems at all. Glad you said. I'm really glad you said it. So, guys, if you like the video, like what you see, then please hit the like button. Also, give an honor, hit that subscribe button. And also, if you like to super chat, then click on the join on the $sign. Just give what the channel's worth. And if you like to become a member, then click on the join button, which is 99p. And I will be running a competition very, very soon. Before I go through, get to know Patrick and Carl, both Man City fans, and I'll go for the comments as well. This will be a tough game. I'm going to say 1-0 to us late on. Feeling that I take a draw, but I have to feel that City might win this one. But we do have home advantage house now. And big up to Carl, by the way. And good luck on your new show as well. Thank you very much indeed for that one, Carl. Really appreciate that. I shall have a look at yours later on some stage. I see we are getting low ball on Pedro again. Well, it is for me. I'm still going to remain patient. But again, that people on social media are just not happy at all whatsoever, sort of thing. Well, I could say to them, just be extra patient. If they don't get the players in, you do what you have to do. Big up to Tom, hope you're okay. And Chico 1-0 to Toon, got fifth in our defence. Tom's becoming a regular on my show. Big up to Tom, my guy. Big up to Gareth as well, another regular on the show. Hope you're okay, mate. Big up to Jay Sweet. He's not first this time, but he's got in as well. And the man, Cloud, big up to you, man. My Barley Sinclair. Big up, mate. Right, we're going to introduce Patrick first. Patrick, you're a Manchester City fan, and you had a good pre-season. You got Erling Haaland for 50 million quid, just over 50 million pound. And you also got Julian Alvarez as well from River Plate, which I think is going to be a super, super player, the new Aguero. So, What do you think of your new signings? What do you expect the season? And also, are you happy so far with your 2-game start?
No, I'm happy with the 2 games, but as I told you off camera, that I'm still waiting for a challenge. I just want to see us with a more organized team, how we're going to break them down, because West Ham haven't started very well. If you talk about the last team we played, Bournemouth, yes, they won 2-0 in the first game, but I just wanted a bit of a team that will give a bit of a fight to get us to the next gear. I just want to see where we are. But so far, so good. Look, I'm happy. You take, as I say, you have to beat who's in front of you. So we're happy. But if you talk about the signings, I'm giving it 10 out of 10. And the same way as you're saying some Newcastle fans are not excited by people, by signings. It's the same. We also have got City fans who are not happy, believe it or not, John, if every player that's come in. We've got Phillips, who's one of the best, I think, defensive midfielders in the league. Obviously, he's going to stay, I think, more fit at City because he's going to be rotated. We've got Alvarez, who's the biggest talent coming out of Argentina. People have spoken about him like big guns. Aguero was one of the guys who pushed him to come to City. We've got Ortega, who was the second best keeper in Bundesliga, and we got him for free, which is amazing. And let's not forget, we paid 51 million for Haaland, which is also amazing and cheaper than most signings that have been signed right now. Alvarez, 14 million, who, as I said, who is best from Argentina. And then not forgetting the new left back. Finally, we have a left back in Sergio Gomez. So it's been a very good window. That's why I'm giving it 10 out of 10. It has given us everything we were asking for and everything that we thought there was a bit of weakness in. So we're all good.
Absolutely. Wish you could do a Julian Alvarez. He cost 20 million quid, did he? And I think that's an absolute bargain. I say big up to the chief scout to Man City as well. I think they've been absolutely brilliant. Pep being Pep settings, I think it's been brilliant. He knows who to buy. The players you got there, it's world class. Carl, welcome to the first time, Carl, my guy. And the thing is, right, I mean, Patch just said that Man City needs a challenge. Do you sort of agree with him?
Not really. I think that West Ham away was a challenge because, and Patrick and I, we do a show together many times. We disagree on many things and we agree on many things. But last season, we played West Ham away in the Carabao Cup. We lost. We played them in the league. We scraped by 2-2. So the first game against West Ham away was always going to be a challenge. First game of the season, West Ham at home in front of fans, a packed out stadium. It was always going to be a challenge. I think the way we stepped to the challenge is what helped us to get the 3 points and the 2 goals. So I think that was a challenge. Bournemouth will be Bournemouth, and they tried. I think the Newcastle game will be a challenge too. I really think it will be. Newcastle are one of the teams that I've always liked. I don't know why. Maybe it's because of Alan Shearer, because of Les Ferdinand, David Ginola. Maybe because I watched him when I was growing up, and I kind of had that liking for them. Kevin Keegan being the manager, or at one point. And I kind of like the way they play. I remember that goal that I think Citeh or somebody scored, Papi Citeh scored against.
And that football kit, the kid's
lovely.
Kit is just attractive.
So I just have a respect for Newcastle. The fans come to the party. They're always up for it. That will be a challenge for us. Of all the 3 games, that will probably be the biggest challenge so far. So I'm looking forward to it, mate.
Yeah, good for you. Good for you. Tony, I mean, the guys said that one of them don't need a challenge. The other said needs a challenge. They have bought some good signings for me. Erling Haaland. Everyone's been talking about him. Julian Alvarez as well has been an amazing signing. They got the goalkeeper from Armenia Belfield, I believe. And also they bought in Sergio Gomez. I don't know anything about this guy at all whatsoever. So none at all. I don't. He's played for Anderlecht. I know that. He's played on the Vincent Company. Yeah, so what can I say, Tony? I mean, Man City made some good signings, 2 games gone, and it just hit the ground running.
Yeah, absolutely. I knew that this first 2 games anyway. I knew they'd win them anyway. I did have them tipped to beat Bournemouth 5-0 last week, but they won 4-0, so my tip didn't quite come off. No disrespect to Bournemouth, but I didn't expect Bournemouth just to finish at 4. I thought they would have got beat at least 5 goals, but yeah, I mean, and what was surprising was Holland wasn't even on the score sheet last week. So, that's the thing with Man City. They got goal scorers all over the pitch, not just up front, not just midfield, but also the wing backs as well can score. So they've got goals around the pitch, which is what a lot of teams have nowadays anyway. And to be honest with you, they don't really play with like a recognised striker. It's more like a front 3 sort of thing. Wingers chip in with goals now in midfielders. That's the way football's evolved now. It's not like the old, like go back 15, 20 years ago when you used to have your 2 centre forwards and your wingers putting crosses in for them to head home. So football's evolved a lot in the last 15 to 20 years. And it'll continue to evolve as well. But no, I totally agree. I mean, Man City have made some good signings. I'll still stick by my prediction that I said at the start before the season started that Haaland will finish as top goal scorer. He'll definitely be ahead of Nunes now because no disrespect, but if Nunes keeps getting sent off every 3 games, then he ain't going to score many goals, is he? So he's going to be nowhere near in that top 10. I mean, I expect Salah will probably be up there again in the goal scoring charts, but no, I think Haaland will be the top scorer in the Premier League. He'll beat Harry Kane and Son to that title. But no, City they've done well. They've done what I expect the first 2 games. I thought they would have beat West Ham, even though that was a tough game going away to West Ham, and I knew they would beat Bournemouth. I thought that would be a slightly easier game for them. No disrespect to Bournemouth, but they're nowhere near the class of Man City, unfortunately.
Have to agree there. If you've got any questions for the two guys as well, Carl and Patrick, then just fire away. Any questions you'd like to ask Man City, they'd be quick to answer your questions. So I got Tom, even to you, mate. I got Jackie B, delusional, some of our fans. Yeah, I have to agree, man. John, you have some pulling power. Getting both for the Man City fans at once. Empty hat. We're going to talk about it later on as well. One thing about it, Man City don't F up with transfers. That's from EAT's gamer. You won't beat Man City. Imagine Chris Wood at Man City. Wow. I don't think they'll be happy with him at all. Big up to Ian, by the way. Absolutely fine, my guy. Hope your son saw that and your partner as well, too. Thank you for joining. And I think we'll smash City 7-0. Bruno's going all sevens. Magnificent sevens, by the way, people. And even to Sefton from, I think he's from spending more somewhere. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong, but he said 3-1 away win. My heart's saying 2-6 draw. And that's in Connor. I think this is the only game where we shouldn't be worried about winning. I happily play 5 at the back. Use our best team. I think other teams is where we should be winning. Connor, listen, mate. We play a 4-3-3. Don't change our winning formula, because at the end of the day, if you change the system into a 5 at the back, City will break. They break any system in world football, yeah? Just stick to what you know. Yeah, I'd rather play the same system, 4-3-3, right? Get them beat, then changing the new system to a 5-4-1, because City's just going to pepper as well. For me personally, I mean, we will finish 7th or 8th this season. We shouldn't be aiming for 3 hits at all. We should not be aiming for 3 hits at all whatsoever. We should have a go, get the 7th or 8th position, right? We're the richest club in the world, right? And do you agree with that, Tony?
Yeah, well, we're not actually the richest club in the world, John, because we've got the richest owners.
Yes.
We haven't generated enough money to become the richest club in the world as yet, but we've got the richest owners in world football, which is a lot of people get a bit mixed up with that. Sorry to correct you on that one, John. But
that's fine. That's fine. I have to stand corrected.
Do you know what? I just think we're going to play 5 at the back. I've got that feeling, John. I've really got that feeling. And I'll bring it up on screen later. I've got my formation there, and I'll bring it up on the screen later, and then show you what team that I've gone for Sunday, which I think will be the team that may go out there on Sunday. I may be totally wrong, and anyhow may surprise us and play the 4-3-3. But for some reason, because Target will be back, I've got the feeling we're going to play 3 at the back with the 2 wing backs as well.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I've got some more comments as well. Man City will definitely win the league again this season. They are a million miles above everyone. Well, as long as Pep Guardiola is still at the club, then I'm sorry, he's going to dominate the whole lot. And big up to Les, by the way, even to you, my guy. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Great to hear Bernardo staying. Darren, I take it you're a Man City fan. I think you guys know Darren as well. And he's a great guy.
I think we do.
He sounds a great guy, by the way. Big up to I Like Coffee. By the way, I Like Coffee will be on the Macy's channel at 8 o'clock tonight. I'm sure he'll be on that as well. Fox will be on there as well, I'm sure. Can I ask the lads, this is a question from Ian, if they think it's a mistake getting rid of Sterling? I'll start with you, Patrick.
Oh, yeah. You've picked the right Man City fans for this particular Look, Raheem gave us all he could, and to be honest with you, me and Carl have had conversations with Raheem even when he was at the club, outside camera, on camera. We think he's going to also talk his part that there's no another level Raheem was going to get to. Like, let's be honest. I might be wrong, but there's no another level than the level he got to during the season where he was competing with Salah and Mane, and he was one of the best wingers in the world. And where at a point where the media were like, this guy, if he goes this far, he might go to Madrid. That's when he took the picture of the Madrid jersey and the City one this side. That time he was untouchable. So if you think about it, for the past few seasons, he hasn't been doing well. And for a guy who hasn't been doing well, he's also been playing a lot. And even Pep went to the point of putting him in a final against Chelsea and removed the DM and put Raheem instead just to keep him happy because Pep played him a lot. He says he's not happy with not playing games. So if he wants to leave, I think it was best for him to leave. Because if you think about it, John, somebody who's always been playing more games than others. When people were being benched at City, Gundogan plays very well. You know, Gundogan, how good he is on his day. Plays very well, gets benched, doesn't say anything. Bernardo gets benched, doesn't say anything. But Raheem gets benched just for almost half a season. He's like, no, I'm not happy with this. I have to go. So I think it is the right time for him to go, because sometimes it is becoming a bit iffy where you find he's 1v1 and he stops before, instead of shooting, he stops. Like at Anfield, not at Anfield, at Wembley. Was it at Wembley or what was that? Yeah, Wembley. Yeah, when we played the FA Cup semi. Yeah, he was 1v1 with the keeper. He stopped looking at. Instead of hitting it, the keeper is open. He stopped waiting for Jesus to come in, and the keeper took it off his legs. And he did that multiple times. And for me, I sat there and said, something is not right here. That's before he said he's leaving. I was like, something is not right here. What's going on with this fella? Is it lack of confidence, or I think he just wanted to leave. I think he was just tired. He wants to be the main man, but you can't be the main man in a team where there's people who are clinical more than you. People like Foden. I think the biggest issue with Raheem is when Foden stepped into that team, I think he saw the lights were out. He's like, wow, this kid. Because when Foden came in, that's when Raheem felt the pressure. So look, at the end of the day, Mahrez decided to extend and said he welcomes the pressure. Raheem decided to go. I don't think it's a mistake. I don't think it's a mistake. Yeah, if you're a Chelsea fan, or if I don't know if you're a Newcastle fan, just watch this. Watch him at Chelsea. You will know that Raheem, it takes him more than 5 chances to score. Like, I'm not slating him. I'm just saying it takes him more than 5 chances to score a goal. And he will look more, I think, less of a goal scorer at Chelsea, where they want to give you 2-1 chances. So for me, I think it wasn't a mistake. We've got Alvarez, who seems to be more clinical. We've got Haaland, who seems to be more clinical. Foden is more clinical. Mahrez is more clinical. So we're all good.
Yeah. Well put. I mean, I like Ryan Sterling. I really do. But for what he said to us, it didn't look good, and he had to be away. So that's a good question, Ian. Thank you very much indeed for that, mate. And then Colin again, mate, I'll be happy with top 10 this season. I'll be happy knowing that we haven't found relegation. Then I think that's an achievement Eddie is looking for. We finished 11th.
I don't think that's good enough, though, Frank. I mean, Connor, I really think that I like Eddie Howe and I like Newcastle, and I think Newcastle have some great attacking players. And Tony, I agree with you that I think that Eddie's going to play a back five. He has to play a back five. He can't play a 4-3-3. He'll get killed. He has to play a back five with wing backs and maybe a 3-4-3 or 3-5-2. That's what he has to do. He has to use a counter attack like Brentford did against United to try to hurt City. If he plays a 4-3-3 against City, it will not be pretty. So he has to go to a back five. It's not, because if you play a 4-3-3, who plays the middle three? Gimaresh, Joe Linton, and who else? You want to play
Willock
against De Bruyne, Bernardo, and Rodri. The matchups are just, he has to play a back five and then try to counter attack City, in the wide areas. But to Connor's point, I want Newcastle to finish not just top 10, the top 6. I think you have the players to do so.
Okay.
I really do. I mean, if United are playing Newcastle today, I back you Newcastle to win that game. I think you guys should push for the top 6, for at least top 6 this season. Now, if you come short and make 7th, okay, you're in Conference League, it's a step forward, but not top 10. Have to push for top 6.
They would butter United. They would butter. This Newcastle team will butter United. No, let's be honest. No, let's be honest. Tony, come on, let's be honest. This Newcastle team with this United right now, you would butter them badly, and it'll be bad. Trust me, because your midfield, Bruno, Joe Linton, like those guys are good. Like you guys have no idea. You guys, I think was I've noticed when I'm talking to a lot of Newcastle fans, they don't understand that other people from outside, we admire your team because there's less noise. It's just you're doing your stuff quietly and you're doing it very well. And
it's just football.
It's no agendas. Yeah,
Eddie Howe taking Joe Linton, right, and making him into one of the best midfielders in the league, right? Not Joe Linton crying and going to the media and knocking on the manager's door, saying he wants to leave. He's fighting for a place in the team, right? That's what he's doing.
Midfielder. Yeah,
right? That's what Raheem Sterling doesn't do. Fight. If you're good enough, right, you fight. You fight and you fight, you fight. Joe Linton is a bloody good midfielder. He used to be a striker. Great midfielder. You have Bruno Guimaraes, right? You have my friend, what's that? Your striker, the one that plays on the left, the really good guy.
ASM.
Talking about St. Maximin.
Right?
Man.
The maximum.
One advice for that fella, he should stop thinking this is FIFA Street. I don't know if you know FIFA Street or street
Sure.
football. He should become more. Again, he should become more effective. If somebody coach, I don't know if Eddie's gonna do it. If somebody just told St. Maximin that you know what, we know you have skill, but be effective. You know what I mean? Because sometimes I've noticed, like, he breaks my heart because I see there's a skilled player and somebody who could be top class and world class, but he delays sometimes with the dancing. Like he's there dancing. I was like, come on, just be effective.
It's I think ASM's issue is just that final third. When he gets in that box, right? How do I convert my skill into clinical finishing? Which is why Pep and Raheem parted ways, because Pep is about, I will get you to the final third. What you do in that final third, it's about you. And unfortunately for Raheem, in the final third, his finishing is questionable. But fair play to him. Good luck at Chelsea.
But
yeah.
when we signed, when we signed St. Maximin from Nice, Patrick Vieira was his manager, and he did say at the time that he's very skillful and talented, but once he gets in that final third, it's completely different.
Yeah.
And he said he doesn't contribute enough in that final third, and that's coming from Patrick Vieira, who managed him, so he knows all about him. And going back to Patrick saying about Man United, let's put it this way: if we were playing Man United on Sunday, and I know there's a Man United fan in the chat, I'm sorry, Macy, I know this is gonna, but I'll tell you what. We would smash them 5-0. We would have another 5-0 like we did back in the 90s when Shearer, Ferdinand, and Ginola and Albert done that gorgeous chip over Schmeichel.
It's not great. For
we
our
would
neighbours.
smash them.
Not great. It's not great.
Because Man United are the gift that keeps on giving at the moment. And, so, yeah, we would, without a doubt, absolutely smash them. I'll be confident if we would score goals in that game,
Yeah, can I ask something, Tony and John? Sorry for cutting you, Tony and John. So sorry for cutting you, Tony. Can I ask something? Is what? How is your squad right now? Is anybody injured? Who's fit? Is Trippier back?
Yeah, Trippier's back playing. Target was out last week with a dead leg, but he's expected to be back in playing on Sunday. So hence Botman came in for him. We had Lascelles out the first game, but he's only a substitute at the moment. So. No, I think we're all right for injury-wise at the moment. We're not too bad at all. We just saw a bit of evidence at Brighton where we just seeing that we're just lacking that little bit extra up front. So we could do with a backup for Wilson, and we could do with another right winger and maybe another midfielder to come in, as Shelby's out for 12 weeks with a hamstring. So he's out for 3 months. Just to give with that little bit extra in midfield to help cover while he's out. But, if we get these couple of players in, I think we'll be all right.
And Tony, I know Newcastle fans may have been upset with the result at Brighton, but they have to understand, John and Tony, that Brighton are a good side. Brighton are a damn good side. All right, they went to United, Old Trafford, first game of the season, and they battered them. Right?
They're a good side.
I remember a press conference where Pep said that Brighton's a really hard side. No, we beat them 4-1, but they're really hard to play against. They beat us 3-2 2 years ago. It's not an easy game. So to go there and get a point at Brighton, to me tells me that you guys are in serious business. And
they drew 3-3 with what, Liverpool, isn't it? Remember 3-3.
That's my point. You should, in my opinion, be chasing that top 6. I really think you should.
I mean, since the new owners have came in, we've actually we're unbeaten against Brighton since the new owners are in, because we went there last season, drew 1-1. We drew 0-0 this season, but the season before last, with Steve Bruce at the helm, we got hammered 3-0, and they could have scored more. And I mean, the Amex is a tough place to go to because it's one of those compact stadiums as well. But to get a point against Brighton, it isn't a bad result. We didn't play the best last Saturday, but as I've always said, it's a positive because we've got a point out of it. Yep. So we haven't had a negative in it. We've just had a positive. Might have had a little bit of a negative display in some ways, but we got the positive by gaining the point. And, Nick Pope pulled off about 3, 4, 5 great saves last week.
Good
and, if it wasn't for him, we would have lost that game. And then obviously Pascal Gross didn't have his shooting boots on towards the end. and put it wide, thankfully.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's hope that is the case. Does anyone think Man U can get relegated this year? For me, I'd love if they went down. Love it. Lee, let's Devils United, Mason in the cut as well. Be careful what you say. Should be listening to us as well. But the thing is, right? I mean, don't want to see United get relegated.
I don't
Not at
think they
all.
will.
I don't want to see United get relegated, yeah. But at the end of the day, the club is in an absolute mess. Yeah, everyone knows that. Yeah, it's in a mess. Yeah, the Glaziers are the problem. Yeah, the players are the problem as well, because the players do not care about the club anymore. They just don't. I think Ronaldo could be a problem as well, because he just want to play Champions League football. For me, right? If he's not happy at the club, get him out, find a way, terminate his contract, right? Because at the end of the day, right, no one ain't bigger than the football club. And I mean nobody. It's as simple as that. Yeah. I mean, there will be another. Ronaldo is replaceable. Man United will not be replaced at all whatsoever. It's as simple as that. So that's a possibility. I can't say it, but they're not get top 6 this season if they can already are. I can see Man United. Go on,
sorry, John. Can I just add to that? For any Man United fans that are in the chat or wherever in the world, they might think they're a big club, but can I just tell you now, like we're a big club, you're never too big to be relegated, and you need to remember that, because we've been down twice under our former owner, and we weren't too big to go down. So nobody's too big to go down.
Juve have gone down before Juventus went down. Remember?
Yes, they did back in 2006-7.
I remember last year, Tony and John, when United signed Ronaldo and Patrick Aubameyang. I tweeted that. Here's my tweet: that Cristiano Ronaldo will be the albatross that sinks both United and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I remember.
Yeah, you said that. Yeah, you said that. Yeah.
I said he's the albatross that will sink both of them. And why did I say that? Because I knew that this guy does not fit into the mode of United. Don't forget, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer finished second that season. Didn't lose an away game. Didn't lose one away games. All the games away, he won. I think he won all of them. All away games. Ronaldo comes in, and the year after, what happens? They collapse down to 6 or 7. This year, they've lost 2 games. We unite with Ronaldo playing. So it's the board, it's the players, and frankly, it's the management.
Absolutely, without a doubt. And the club's in a mess. I was going to say, thanks Ian for that, mate. And he sent that plank Grealish for Bet Bid George smashed him on Sunday. I hope that is the case. Big up to Cenk, hi to you. Top 6 and smashed United twice this season. Lads, that's some Ian. I totally agree with Newcastle. Push the top 6, 7. Connor is saying, European football would be the same for us, but I'm thinking step by step. We go for the top 10, knowing comfortably you can aim for that every season, then go for European football. Again, Connor, I respect your opinion, my guy, yeah? But the thing is, right, we need to be in that top 6, top 7, because at the end of the day, Bruno, right, wants to play in the Champions League, play European football, yeah? And I'm pretty sure Nick Pope wants to play European football. Sven Botman wants to play European football, yeah? Joe Linton wants to play European football. And ASM certainly want to play European football, yeah? They don't want to be wasting 2 or 3 years doing finishing 10th, then 9th, then 8th, yeah? We don't get European football if we do it that way. But listen.
Tony, let's okay. Look, we know the top 4 is probably, City, Liverpool.
We don't get top 4.
Right? But I'm going to say, so you're 5 and 6, right? You're better than you're as good as Brighton. You're probably better than Villa. You're better than Forest. You're probably better than Bournemouth. You're better than Fulham. You're probably equal to Wolves. Leicester, you're probably matching them. Palace, you're probably better. Southampton, you're probably better. Everton, you're probably better. And United is certainly better than them. So it's really between West Ham, Chelsea or Arsenal, and who else? And that's it. Wolves. That's your competition.
I think it depends on one thing also, Carl. I think I've been thinking as we're talking, because remember I did that video. I was talking about Arsenal, saying Arsenal, are they going to make top 4 this season? Then I said it also depends on who's on the bench. So I asked John and Tony, if some of your stars are injured, right, or gone, let's say, for instance, Joe Linton and Bruno are off, what's your bench? Is it Longstaff?
Yeah, Longstaff, yeah.
Longstaff,
Murphy, Fraser.
Wood.
Yeah.
You see that? It's the bench. Because are they going to carry you? Yeah, go ahead.
Patrick, don't forget, the other teams who are competing for top 6, 7 are all in Europe too. They're Thursday, Sunday, Saturday. Newcastle don't have that. They go week to week, and you have a World Cup, which will probably stay. So you have all these factors. That's why I believe that they should push as much as they can for that top 6, top 7, right? Because they're a game a week. Arsenal has 2 games a week. Tottenham have 2 games a week. United have 2 games a week. West Ham have 2 games a week. So they're really competing with Wolves and Leicester and Villa.
And Leicester not very well right now because they
right.
Leicester can't buy players because they need to sell first before they can buy, but they don't want to sell that player, so
they do, but they give they do, but they're asking for 90 million for Fofana, who just came from. Come on, Leicester City are just funny. You guys were looking for Maddison, and they're saying they want 70. 70 for what? For what? What exactly? That's what Leicester does. Because they have the money, but obviously they can't spend it, but they have the money. So when they're dealing with people, Leicester forget that we have to also deal with market, right? They go over the market. Like Fofana, I'm sorry, Fofana is 50 million. Let's not get too excited. 90, come on. Maddison, when you guys bid, they should have given you for that price. And you guys went over a good price. They should have given you Maddison for that. But Leicester has that habit, Tony, of always trying to price out somebody. That's what they always do. They always want to make sure they price out somebody.
United, they mugged them off for 80 million for Maguire.
That's the worst thing I've ever seen.
John? Yeah.
Exactly, man. It's ridiculous. These transfer prices just an absolute joke. Connor saying, big up Connor, by the way, from going relegation to top 7 is a massive jump. It is a massive jump. I get that, but we haven't been relegated. We haven't been relegated in 2016, and you know what I mean. So look, we finished 11th. We can go higher on this. We can go higher.
So you finished 11th. So you finished 11th. Oh, come on! You got to finish top 7. You have to.
We got to get top 7. I mean,
the thing is, last season we finished. I think it was 7 points off 7th place last season. So if you put together the likes of we drew Norwich, Watford, and Man United, at those 6 points, that would have just put us a point outside there. And the thing is, at the end of the way I look at it is, we can get in that top 6 or 7. I mean, I've said at the beginning of the season on my prediction, and John will back me up on this. I've said I'll be happy if we finish 7th this season. That gets you into Europe, even though it's only a Europa Conference League, but still gets you into European competition next season.
1 foot in. Yeah, 1 foot in. So you can get to.
And then you can progress after that.
Tony and John, if we look at the math, right, and look at the data, and we take the point at which Eddie Howe comes into Newcastle, right? And you look at that point in time, not what's that guy's name? The former manager, what's his name?
Steve Bruce.
Steve Bruce, right? Bruce and went up.
Respect him. Right. He did well.
You take the point at which Eddie Howe comes in, and you look at all the games and all the wins and all the draws and all the losses all the way to the end of the season, right?
Yeah.
Do the math, guys out there, and see where you're at.
He took them from down there, didn't he? He took you from down there. You were down.
He was from bottom of the table up until 11.
That's great.
From where we are, finished 11. But brilliantly, you know what I mean? But I tell you something now, right? I mean, if the league started by the time Eddie Howe walked through the door, right, up until into May, we'll be 4th. We'll be Champions League.
See, and I know it sounds like sacrilege to mention this, but this is how Patrick and I kind of analyze data, and when we do our shows, is that look at all the facts. What are the facts? Not the emotion, not the I'm scared. What are the facts? Fact is, Eddie Howe comes in, Newcastle are bottom, and all the way to 11th. How many points did he get? Let's compare the other teams and see where they will end up if, at that point in time, the season started. You're probably top 6, top 7. So why not say, okay, can we carry that same form throughout the season and build upon that?
Take it in, carry it on from last season into where we are now, keep it going, and then we can go a lot further. Do you know what I mean? How weird. I mean, at the end, a lot of our fans don't see that. People will probably say, oh, we have a clean slate at start. Well, no, you got to carry that form into the new season, right? And if you can do that, then Newcastle can go further. Eddie Howe have only lost to turn of the year. We lost to Liverpool, Tottenham, Man City, and Everton, right? And Chelsea, yeah? All the others have been like, we've been unbeaten 9 games at a time. 6 wins, 3 draws. And I tell you something, that is Champions League form. Yeah.
This is the argument that I like to make it is you have to look at the data. The data tells you everything. I guarantee you, that Guardiola and his team are looking at the last since Eddie Howe came in, how they performed, how the team has played, how many points they've got, what their strength of weakness. That's what he's looking at. He's not looking at the old days of when all the manager was there and they were bottom of the league, right? That's what they're looking at because that's the reality. And for me, I think you guys should push for at least 7th and above because you get European football. You can build on that. You can spend more money. You get that credibility in Europe. You begin to kind of build a momentum. And with your crowd,
pull better players. Yeah, you can pull better players.
Absolutely. Exactly. Look at George Gordon, right? He says, not that Gordon, but decent Gordon. Jonathan Red. We all want United down. Tell the truth. Listen, I'm not a Red, right? Macy is a Red. Spot on about Brighton. The problem is Brighton has been disrespected by a lot of all summer just because they saw Cucurella and Bissouma. The truth is Brighton best football inside outside the top 4. I'll tell you what, Brighton are right up there with the best. Newcastle United, so I definitely don't want United to be relegated. I don't mind you go down though. That's a lot of people want to see guys doing. One thing you must all agree on is defensive goalkeepers on European standards, much better than Man United. Man United is not all concerned. The shoes on the other foot now. We remember, correct. I remember Man U last relegation, Dennis Law back in 1974-5 season. I remember last time United relegated, Dennis Law, the Man United legend, sent them down with that back heel, if I remember correctly, and taught them a lesson moving in out. Which Newcastle player would the Man City lads like to have at their clubs?
Bruno.
No, I don't know. I like this. Who's that guy?
It was ASM because we were lacking wingers. Remember, we wanted ASM because we were lacking wingers. But
there's a guy that I like. The kid, is it what's his name? Not is a striker you have is really good. He gets injured a lot, but he's really good. What's his name?
He scored him.
I like him a lot. Watch out for that guy, Patrick, in the game on Saturday.
I know. He's a bugsman, but I just he plays for Norway, doesn't he?
He's the one. I'm not scared of Alex and Maximin. I'm concerned about that guy because he can finish, and he has great movement. His movement on and off the ball is fantastic. That's a guy I worry about, and Nick Pope.
Jesus Christ, my God! You got rid of the guy who was gifting us goals now. Guys, why did you do that? We got rid of the other guy who was gifting us goals. Nick Pope is difficult. Even against Burnley, I know we could beat Burnley 5-0, but it was because the team was letting him down. Like the goals were like, it's like a keeper can't do anything. It was like proper like defenders messing up. But he's very difficult because he's very tall and very good in the air, and he's very commanding in that area. Oh, I forgot about Nick Pope. Oh yeah, and you guys got that defender from Brighton too, the Dead, which is also a very good defender.
Is it Lewis Dunk? Is it Dunk?
No, they didn't get Dunk. They got Did you get Dunk?
Nah.
You got the other guy.
Got Sven Botman.
Okay.
No, the one from Brighton. Brighton defender. You want
to? Dan Burn.
Yeah,
Dan Burn. Sorry, I misheard. Yeah, he's a decent defender, but it looks like you're going to play theatre back on Sunday, by the looks of it. So we're going to see what happens on it.
You have to, John.
I think you have to play. Yeah, man. I got one for Foxy. I get everyone's like to see United lose, but didn't Arsenal struggle badly start last season? They lost the first 3 games and nearly made a top 4. They bottled it, by the way. Nearly got top 4. It's a long season.
Actually, the problem with that is that United's next game is against who? Liverpool.
Yeah.
Right. And now, if Liverpool show up against United, they could batter them 4 or 5-0. And then what do you do then? Then you have to go to Southampton and play Leicester. Then you go to Leeds and come to City. It could be September.
Man City as well.
Yeah, then they go to Chelsea. I think so somewhere.
Yeah.
Wow. Scary. Tony, what do you think there? Go on, Tony.
Yeah, I've just looked at the Premier League form tables since January the 1st this year. Liverpool are top of that. We're second. Spurs third. Man City 4th.
There you go.
There's your answer.
And your bottom 3 were Norwich, Everton and Watford.
There you go. So when I talk about looking at form, this is kind of what we're talking about, right? About the expectation should be you carry that same form into the new season and you build upon that, right? If you're second or third after January and we're in what month are we in? We're in August right now, and you played 2 games, you got 4 points out of 6. That's good form. That's good form, which means that if you can try to get something or you lose by a narrow margin and you build upon that going forward, there's no reason why you can't make top 6, top 7, in my opinion.
Exactly, man.
You're
I agree.
absolutely right. Yeah.
He's right. He's right. And just got a bit of breaking news as well from Gian Pedro. Watford has rejected a second bid in the region of 22 mil plus 3 million added ons for Newcastle for Gian Pedro for Watford. Me personally now, I'll just say, you know what? Pay the money. Just pay the money, because at the end of the day, right, you know, if you really want the player, pay the money. Just pay the money.
How much do they want, John? How much do
Well,
they want?
Watford
30
made
million.
it clear, 30 million. They made it clear they want 30 million from this guy.
What's happening to football? Come on, like people who like John don't worry, John. I'm with you. I was also the same for Kukurea for a while. I was like, pay the money. But what's happening to football? Where who is Joe Pedro? What has he done in this world? I know he's got. Yeah.
Shall I tell you what the problem with football is? Nottingham Forest is the problem, because they're going out. They're spending £44.5 million on a player that is very mediocre, that has hardly played in the Premier League.
Is it Gibbs? White.
Gibbs White.
This is Gibbs White. He's played twice for Wolves this season, played 2 full games. Excuse me. But £44.5 million. And this is why we're getting outpriced for players, because of teams like Nottingham Forest. Now, no disrespect to them, but if they go down this season, they are stuffed next season. They are in the shit, basically.
I know.
They are screwed over. And the thing is, if they're paying £44.5 million for Gibbs White, then you're guaranteed if we went to Leicester to get Maddison, they would say, oh, well, if Gibbs White's worth 44 million, then Maddison's worth 90 million. Do you know what I mean?
Phillips was 42. What's going on? Phillips was 42. Phillips and Gibbs White. Wow, okay. And it's crazy, absolutely crazy. And that's the problem. It's Nottingham Forest are causing all this now. And 16 players they've signed so far this summer. Nottingham Forest.
It's crazy. And they haven't finished yet.
Yeah, 16, yeah.
And please don't feel being negative, right? Because I'm not being negative at all whatsoever, right? Please don't think that, guys, and people in the chat, yeah. But for me personally now, you need to pay over the odds now, because at the end of the day, right, I'm not having to go to your own street. If you really want the player, you got to help Eddie now. You got to back Eddie Howe, yeah. Pay slightly over the odds, right? And people are saying, I'll go for the comments as well. Thank you, Sefton. And then I've got Isla Coff saying 30 mil for João Pedro laughing. We got to Strathby, but I hope you came it. Pedro bid rejected again, right? He's a young, talented forward. They're all expensive at that end of the field. The problem is, Stephen, right? They're in the championship, right? And it's Newcastle tax. That's what they want. Newcastle tax. It's either that, or, in my opinion, they do not want to do business with Newcastle now, because you could be a threat in future years. And that's what I'm trying to see. And that's the thing. They do not want to do that. Do you know what I mean? They're trying to keep away from
Welcome to the club, John.
Exactly. Thank you very much indeed. Welcome to the Big Boys League, yeah? And that's it. Like Coffee said, Newcastle tax there. And John, 30 mil for 3 goals. What's the F has happened to football? That's put shame on Shiraz's name. What's the point of statue for sign flops? The thing is, right, Forest is spending like it's going out of fashion, right? Let's be real, right? Newcastle won't do that. They want to buy quality, not quantity, quality, yeah? I mean, Fox is not going to agree with us on that one, but listen, and I've rather say 30 million quid. Now Southampton's after them as well.
They're in the head of us now, John.
They are.
Southampton's edged ahead of us in the race for him now. And that's shocking, because I'm not being funny. I hope he doesn't go there, because he's going to the wrong team if he goes Southampton, because they're going down.
Yeah. I think they're in trouble this season, in big trouble. He needs to think about it, yeah? He needs to come to a club like us, right? Well, project, right? Talk to Bruno. Speak to Sven Botman. Speak to Kieran Trippier, right? Have a word with them and just say, look, just, tell us about Newcastle, and they'll come. They will come.
Well, John, the thing is, when Pope signed for the club and he had that interview a couple of weeks ago in The Athletic, he said he kept on a Kieran Trippier asking him, what's it like at Newcastle? Because he knew he was linked to them. Is it a good place to come? Shall I come play football there? What's the city like? What else is there? And things like that. And he says, Trippier must have been sick of him by the end of it, he said. But he said Trippier couldn't talk it up big enough, he says. And the funny thing is, in the England camp, every England player, Newcastle was the talk amongst every England player in that camp. So it shows you that we're the talk of the place at the moment.
Correct. And that is the thing. Find out what it's all about. get them in, and sell a project. And that's exactly what players are doing with Newcastle. It's as simple as that. Do you know what I mean? Eddie Howe's a cracking manager, yeah? Play for him. Southampton, they'll be struggling this season. Wolves, they'll probably be mid-table again this season, yeah? But they are a decent team. Pedro, for me, is well worth at least 27 mil. He's a real skillful player with an end product. 3 goals. Since he's joined in the Prem this season, mate, I'm not sure about that. Get him in as soon as possible. Listen, I take him, but at the end of the day, right, we only pay what the player's worth. Gibbs White is a brilliant prospect, obviously overpriced, but don't blame Forest. Blame the Premier League. It's a rip-off league, I'm telling you. Best league in the world.
Forest could have walked away from that and said, we're not paying 45.5 million for him. So they could have walked away from that. So I'm sorry, Forest are as much to blame as the Premier League. You know, that's my opinion, but I think the 2 lads below me totally agree with me. I think it's Forest are going to try and ruin it. And surely FFP's got to come in somewhere. So surely Mr. Makinakis has got to be called into question here.
16. Like when Fab tweeted that, I was like, my God. And you know what hurts me the most? These teams, right? Don't you sit down as a manager and as a team or as a board and say that, look at Fulham. Fulham wanted to replace that whole team. Guess what happened? They went down. The chemistry was gone, and things did not work out. So, why don't people appreciate the players that have brought you up? Like, appreciate them, at least give them a chance to do something. But it's very heartbreaking to see they're trying to force out the guys who brought them up and bring these stars, because they're trying to get Houssam Aouya from Leon, seriously. And what for? I don't know.
The thing is, once the Gibbs White deal goes through, I think it was on Sky, they've then spent 143 million pound already, and they're not finished.
They won't finish.
Or maybe they want to get back, John. Maybe since they were a big club, they want right away to get back immediately to be big again. Maybe that's what they're looking at. That we want to get back to being a big club, but that's not the way. You have to build. You'll get embarrassed here if you think just buying stars they'll bail you out. You will get embarrassed in the Prem. They have to look at Fulham. What happened to Fulham?
That's very, very true. That's why I rather buy the right players at the right time. Ramos up front, I get him. Yeah, I get a right side middle for Diaby. Get him in. Paqueta is available for Leon. Get him in. Simple as that. Just let him go. Bring him in. And the fact is, right, I love the owners. I love what they're trying to do, but they do not want to get a bit tough. That is the problem. And
one quick thing, John. Sorry, just one quick thing, John.
Yeah.
You know how we were talking about getting Dennis?
Yes.
Well, apparently, when he left for Forest, apparently the Watford players had a party in the dressing room because they couldn't wait to get rid of him, because apparently he's really bad in the dressing room. So maybe that's why we didn't go for him.
Fair enough. We don't want that bad attitudes at our football club. I heard that as well. It did not look good at all whatsoever. And it only cost 20 million quid yet. Pedro's worth 20 million quid yet. Yep, good old Newcastle tax. Even championship clubs are trying to hit as well. Do I tell you something? They're going to be disappointed. Yeah, if that's about Denny.
If I'm Newcastle, I'm going after Lucas Paqueta. Oh, quick. His salary is 10K. His current salary is 10K a week. Right, his valuation is about 30 million. Leon need money. Now imagine the 4-3-3. Your mid three being Guimaraes, Paqueta, and Joe Linton. We're cooking.
You're giving them a formula. You have just given Newcastle a formula to almost ripping people apart. Because if they get Paqueta, because Paqueta is at 30 million, and you're right, he's receiving 10K a week, which is bad. Yeah. Newcastle would make him be one of the best players. And him and Jamal has been both Brazilian. Wow. That would be...
You get a midfield 4-3-3, midfield 3 of Paqueta, Guimaraes, and Joe Linton. It's a Brazilian 3. Brazilian 3, right? Paqueta is 10K a week right now. He's on his evaluation is 30 million. He has 2 less for his contract.
Creative midfielder.
It's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Forget about this guy, Pedro, whatever his name is, right? Forget about this guy. Go ahead.
This guy. Yeah, this is the thing, right? Pedro, Luis Paqueta is worth 34 million quid. I won't pay 34 million for a quality player for Lucas rather than do Rat Chow. Do you know what I mean? This is the thing with English clubs. They're too greedy. And this is why the Premier League is going to explode one of these days. It's going to collapse. I don't think it will, but I could be wrong on that one. I got one from RTG, by the way. I saw a story about Osana Broja outright, John. City brought a top young striker for Argentina, Julian Alvarez. Shows our scouts are clueless. That's his words, not mine. Alvarez is like winning the league. He's 21 and goal score low. He's going to rip the league. By the way, if he gets game time, they rip up the league as well. I'll go through these false contenders. Many as they like Billy Dick Horse, they use 50 loads to get up. Carlos, pick up Carlos. The Man City lads are great crack, John. Do you know what? You're absolutely right. And I got Don Smoke. He must be a City fan, I believe. I could be wrong.
Yeah, that's one of the guys who comes on our show. He's also very good at stuff. Yeah,
welcome.
Big up to you.
Welcome to the party, Dom. Majority of players these clubs play with is championship or loanies for big clubs. It's true to form. Why haven't Newcastle signed Accra? He's quality going forward, and 12 million is still. I think he's a decent player when he's not injured.
Yeah, he's had a bit of a stale time though, hasn't he? And I think that's why he wants to leave, doesn't he? He is quality though. Don't get me wrong, when fit, he's quality player. But that's the problem. You got to keep him fit.
I tell you, John, that Lucas Paquetá is the guy you should be going for. I'm telling you, man.
I have to agree. We should be all over this guy. We should be all over this guy.
Is Guimaraes left or right-footed? Guimaraes left or right-footed? Do you know?
I think he wants to come to Newcastle. He wants to come to Newcastle.
Is Bruno left-footed or right-footed? Do you know? Is it left-footed or right-footed? Bruno.
He's right-footed. But he can use left-footed as well. But Paquetá is left-footed as well. So we need to get him, but they had long enough now. John, please ask all these people who are saying spend 30 million on Pedro. Have they watched his last 2 games for Watford? He's been awful.
This is what I said. He, like I said, what has he done? Because he is good. He's potential. Like, he's one of those players that if you get the right manager, they will coach something out of him and he'll be something. But he looks like he's a player that needs to be pushed all the time. When he's having a bad day, it's a bad day. It's one of those that he just doesn't want to do anything. He's talented, but we'll see. Maybe Eddie has seen potential in him, but 30 is a bit far. I would have been looking at paying 18 million for the lad, to be honest, even regardless of 20, because he hasn't done anything at all. But anyway, I'm pretty sure right now clubs are looking at Richarlison for 60 and pointing at that. Like, a Brazilian just went for 60 and he only scored 8 goals as his maximum. So if you want this young potential, I think that's one of the things, John.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, I want to get players ready and tested at this stage because we want to get in European football this season if we can. But Falls will stay up. They got promoted when it was expected. They had loans last year, small squads, so of course they're standing a lot. People expect them to play with 14 squad players. We go through this conference, we're going to talk about Tony's tactics. But if Wilson gets injured, and he will, we are knackered. We are wood but no fire. He's 20 years old and has problems with 6 matches since he has joined. And that's for Pedro again. John, for us to catch in City, it take 10 years just to get where we want to before Pep on face. City had to hire a top manager to get us in top 4. I like Eddie, but PIF only waits for so long. That is a fair comment, but Eddie will be here for many years. I hope he stays. Tony, we haven't got tactics board, mate, and tactics for Newcastle on Sunday, please.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll just grab that off for you.
I'll get it up now for you, my guy. And
so there we are. Is it up on screen now?
Yeah, it's there now.
Yeah, so I've got with the back 3 there. So I've got Pope and goal with Cher, Botman and Byrne. Trippier and Target is your wing backs. Joe Linton and Bruno in the midfield. And your front 3 of Almiron, Wilson and St. Maximin. Unfortunately, Willock drops out on this occasion. But that's the team I think Eddie Howe will go for against City. With
why no Willock? Why no Willock, Tony? Why no Willock?
Well, he's been all right for the couple of games, but I think he'll play with St. Maximin and Almiron on the wings, with Wilson in the middle, and obviously that Joe Linton will be in the midfield along with Bruno. To accommodate that back 5.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, because to accommodate that back 5, unless if we went to a normal 4-3-3, then I would say we'd maybe play Byrne at left back again like we did last week and leave Target on the bench, and then play with the 3 of Bruno, Joe Linton and Joe Willock, and then you have 3 up front of Almiron, Wilson and St. Maximin.
So what I would recommend, so if I'm Eddie Howe, right? And we know how City play, Patrick, right? I don't think you play a front three of Saint-Maximin, Wilson, and Almiron. I think what you do is you take, for example, a Willock, and you drop him right in front of Joe Linton and Bruno, and you have a twin pair of Saint-Maximin and Wilson out wide. Because teams that play against that with City, with that dropping with that same forward into the hole, have more joy because you can transition. If you play these three up front,
okay.
Technically, or we could play the front two there, and we could bring Almiron into a number 10 role because that's his role.
And you spread those two out wide, right? So you spread those Maximin and Wilson, make them a little wider, right? And then now, when you get the ball from deep, let's say we are pressing in the box, you can transition with either Joe Linton, Almiron, or Bruno to those front two in the space behind. That's the joy you could get, right? But if you play a flat front three, they're just going to be isolated. They won't get the ball, and they'll just just overload you in the middle of the park. When you have this, Almiron becomes your hook to get to the wide areas of Saint-Maximin and Wilson. That's how you can hurt us. That's how Kane hurt us last year. That's how teams hurt us, by playing this way.
Yeah,
that's what I would do if I were Eddie Howe, at least knowing our strengths and our weaknesses.
Yeah. I mean, that would set up even better anyway. But that's the sort of formation I think you'll go with. I think you'll go with a three at the back anyway, and the two wing backs of Trippier and Target. That's what I'm thinking he'll do anyway. But then he may surprise us and just stick to the same team and stick to his 4-3-3. But I suppose that's why Eddie gets paid a lot of money, because he knows what he's doing. So but that's not even a bad setup either. I mean, Almiron can play the number 10 anyway. That's why he used to play for Atlanta United in the MLS. So, and he used to be successful in that role.
Yeah. I'll look at that formation there, guys. I like the formation there. I mean, you've got to play feet at the back against City. You have to, because I know FIFA said that, John, I don't think Newcastle will change formation because playing 4-3-3 will cover City as their edge. 4-3-3 changing shape will make us get smashed. That is the thing.
Please do. Please, FIFA, you're right. Please take the 4-3-3. And you know what? I would also encourage you guys, like, don't be shy. Play man-to-man football and
you go. Absolutely.
Attack. Push the line. John, push the line up.
We get ripped to shreds, guys. We get ripped to shreds. We haven't got the players to do it, though.
John and Tony, you can actually play a 4-3-3, do a mid-block. And what I mean by that is there are two types of 4-3-3, right? There's 4-3-3 on Liverpool and City that's expansive, right? Expansive 4-3-3 high. Yeah. But there's also 4-3-3 with a mid-block. So what Palace did to us last year at the Etihad was play a 4-3-3, but in a mid-compact block. So you have the front three, the mid three, and a back four. And the idea is that deny them space with numbers in the middle of the park and then win the ball back and then transition. So you can still play a mid-block 4-3-3, right, and still cause us trouble. But if you play
you need a fast strike in the front, isn't it? Like they were using who were they using? They were using Calliga next to Zaha, so he can connect. So you need somebody like Zaha. So obviously, Saint-Maximin will be the guy.
Right. So there are ways to do it. It all depends on how much space you want to leave behind or how much you want to be compact. It all depends on that. But it'll be a good game. I think it'll be a good game.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
No, I'm sure Eddie Howe's had a look at Man City's style of play and see how they play. And I mean, we've got a big back line in a way because Burns 6'7", Botman 6'5", Shaw's over 6 foot, Pope 6'5" in the goal. So, we've got a big back four there, really. And obviously there's no Trippier anyway because he's to play for City.
The game will be lost and won in the midfield. So if Pep, for example, tucks his fullbacks inverted to the midfield, now we have 5 versus 3. And then that becomes, that's what we did at West Ham. So that's where the game will be lost. If Newcastle win the ball back in the middle of the park and transition quickly, then you're in. Because you have all that space running behind. So that's going to be the game that we're looking to see on Sunday, I believe. So Can
I ask something, Tony and Carl and John? Especially the tactic guys, John. The two tactic guys that are going at it because Carl is a manager, so he manages the team. So he's also one of the tactic guys on the channel. So okay, for instance, with the three at the back, right? So is it going to be the same? Who occupies Haaland? Because what the mistake Bournemouth did is three defenders were going against Haaland, three leaving gaps. So let's say the three at the back, who do you tell to cover Haaland to not have the same mistake that Bournemouth did? Because Bournemouth are quite funny. They left De Bruyne alone and Gundogan, and all three defenders went straight to Haaland. That was the attraction. The whole game they were on Haaland. So how does Newcastle fight against that? That they don't go and concentrate on Haaland. But the thing is, once you don't concentrate on Haaland, you leave him open. So what do? Do you tell someone to man mark him, or you leave him alone and just say we will mark him when he tries to make a run?
I think you're going to need to man mark him. In my opinion, you need to man mark him because at the end of the day, right? I mean, if you could have 2 or 3 on Haaland, like you just said, it's going to leave a gap at the back, and Man City are the best at exploiting things there. For me personally, you have to have a man marker. Someone like I think personally, I think Dan Bird would be perfect for that. Excuse me, for that role.
Yeah.
And then Botman can bring the ball out from the back, which he can do. Yeah. So can Fabian Schär. But you need someone who's going to mark Haaland at the game. If you mark him at the game, they've got half a chance.
The challenge if you put Dan Burn on Haaland, what Haaland will now do is that he will now take the ball, he will now drop deep and drag Dan Burn away from the back three, which creates space for De Bruyne or Bernardo Silva or Riyad Mahrez. So this is a tactical battle that needs to happen on the game, right? Is does Haaland drop deep? Does he stay up front? If Burn marks him one-on-one and Haaland drops to the middle of the park and Burn follows him, there's a hole right there which either De Bruyne or Mahrez can exploit. That becomes, this is the problem, right? With having a number 9 like a Haaland, because he attracts players next to him. If he drops, there's going to be a hole. If he stays up there, he can pass the ball through. For me, I think you just deny them space. Just deny them space, right? As much as you can, deny them space. It's hard, but that's probably your best bet, which is why the back 3 or 5, and with Joe Linton and Bruno, is going to help you at that. When you win the ball back, you transition quickly up to the front 2.
And what Man City want to do is not do the same mistake Forest made. Is when a corner comes in and you've got Shaw up here, don't give him the space because he will score.
Exactly.
Because he scores thunderbolts from there.
Exactly.
So and with Bruno, obviously you need to keep him quiet because he can get the spaces and thread the ball through.
Exactly.
And give it to Wilson. And the thing is, Wilson, give him the service, feed him the ball, and Wilson will bang goals in for you. If Wilson stays fit for the season, he would hit 20 plus goals, no problem whatsoever.
Yeah, I have to agree.
Yeah.
I have to agree. We got to be on point.
The 3 I'm looking at who are dangerous are the right side. So Bruno, Almiron, Wilson. That's the threat, because then if you're on that side of the field and you have Cancelo marking as a left back, that's an area you can exploit, in my opinion. Right, the right side you have Walker covering Maximan, which is a good match. Joe Linton,
basically, just you're isolating Cancelo. That's what you're doing, picking Cancelo, isn't it?
Exactly. That's the angle, right? That Bruno, Almiron, Wilson is the area that I think they're going to try to exploit City on, and they have Trippier there as well, the right wing back. So that quartet that's the area to attack.
Absolutely right. We're going to do a score prediction now. I mean, before you wrap up, and I'm going to start with Patrick. Before I do that, I've got Burn does have the pace of Haaland, hit him with a hard tackle straight away, and Joe Linton is a beast. You know this, right? That's an Ash. So Patrick, give us a score prediction for Sunday, mate. Between Newcastle and Man City.
Yeah, look, I think it's going to be a cagey game, so I'm going for a 2-1.
2-1 to City. Fair enough. What about you, Carl? What do you think score's going to be on Sunday?
I'm doing 1-0 City. A respectable 1-0.
And Tony, I know you told us many a time, just for the few of us, the new ones, coming 6-7 people watching live. Could you tell the viewers what it's going to be, mate?
Yeah, well, my heart says we're going to win 2-1 like we did 3 years ago when Rondon and Richie scored. But my head, which is the more sensible part, I'm going with a 1-1 draw. And that'll be Wilson and Holland on the score sheet.
Fantastic stuff from me. I'm going to say 3-1 to Man City. And we are going to give it a go. But I think Man City will just have too much first, by the way. Excuse me, I can't lie. But we just have to excuse me there. So let's hope we give it a right go. Just don't be afraid of them. Just play our football, attack wherever we can, and we just go from there. We got third Dean, by the way. Dean, I hope you find for New Zealand, mate. How we the last bit early in New Zealand, by the way. Just have a funny feeling he's still a draw once each. That's in Kevin. And Kevin, do hit the subscribe button, please, mate, if you can. It's your first time, I believe. I think we need to play counter football with them. No chance going toe with them. That's in Mikey. And we got one for Sefton, Grealish, John Tony, and sound last from Man City, 3-2 to the tune, 3-2 for Newcastle. All right, we're going to wrap it up there because I also got to jump on another channel at 8 o'clock. And I'm going to start with you, Carl. Did you enjoy coming on the show, mate?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I did enjoy talking to both you, Tony, and you, John. And, this is kind of why we love the game, right? We talk objectively about our strengths and our weaknesses, how you can exploit us, how we can exploit you. This is the joy of the game. A mature conversation between guys who love the game. I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Make sure you come back again, my guy. And Patrick.
No, thank you, John and Tony. Thank you, John. And as Carl says, me and Carl, we're a pair of two. We always move together these days, especially. But we appreciate this. Like, whenever we like talking football, trust me, we might even go on a phone call after this and start analyzing how Newcastle are going to hurt us. We just love talking football, and we met you two guys who are amazing guys, and you and Tony have been talking with us like unbiased. Sometimes when you're a football fan, you become biased, but you are very unbiased. We're all just talking football, and that's amazing. Thanks for having us. We appreciate that.
No problem.
And thanks to the guys who are watching. Thank you guys for watching us for almost an hour 6 minutes.
Brilliant. It could have gone on for another hour, by the way, but also I've got to jump on Macy's channel. She's my favourite podcaster.
Me too.
Otherwise, you would have done half an extra hour. This is a brilliant show, this, mine, by the way. And where do you find us on your socials as well, guys?
You can find me on YouTube at Pitch Points, at Pitch Points, and then on Twitter, I'm at Gunalorian. But I'm always with Patrick. We always work together on this show. Patrick?
Yeah, so it's the same thing. You can either find me on Pitch Points or you can find me on the True City Fan channel. But right now, if you're obviously like a Newcastle fan and you want to follow me, you better find me on the Football and Chills podcast. It started 2 days ago. It's already heading to 60 subs within 2 days, which is amazing. It looks like we made a very good, me and Carl made a very good relationship with a lot of people. They've already started following us there. So find me at Football and Chills podcast, and on Twitter you can find me at Patrick True City Fan. And trust me, I throw a lot of teams, so don't take it personal.
Fantastic. Your new channel hits the heights, and I hope that you be a success as well. Tony, where do you find your socials, mate?
Yeah, so you can find me on Twitter at TonyTooney31. Send me a follow, and I'll follow you back.
Brilliant stuff. And all the links are in the description as well, and mine's as well. So also, if you like to leave your comments in the comment section, so tell us what you think of the show and eat. And please, if you're new and you like what you see, hit the like button as well. Hit the subscribe button, and it goes up on numbers. I can tell you now, I've had 500 new subscribers in 5 weeks. So keep that going northwards. And with the help of Tony, Brad, Grace, Mason as well, and Billy if he's watching the show as well. And readers, so Harlan is on this game. No one stops in. That's simple. Thank you, everybody. Gareth, Nick Pope. And we end up on Nick Pope. But guys, thank you so much for joining. And I should see you guys again. Make sure you come back on my channel again soon. Tony, I should speak to you tomorrow. Will be the press conference reaction, or it could be like the Toon chat as well. And we're going to try and get 1 or 2 guests on as well again. And hopefully you get that sorted out. And I should see you guys tomorrow. And I am going to play the end music as well. And until then, guys, see you later.
Bye.
Much